What's up, everybody? Today I'm here to review The Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 4, titled Killer Within. That's right, people. I will put my, going depth like I usually do. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, this episode starts off with Andrew basically killing a deer and, cutting it up and basically trying to get the attention of the walkers to come into the prison and overtake it. Now, here's the thing what I found was kind of funny because we seen when he killed a deer, we see him take the heart from the deer, and we also see him cut the lock off a fence. Well, yeah, off the fence. And in that heart alone causes more walkers to come from the other side. So yeah, that will happen in the beginning. Now, let's get off into the good parts. Now, we see a scene with Glenn and Maggie. Wasn't that important. It was just something simple. Because basically Rick them is trying to get rid of the bodies, trying to burn them because they don't want the bodies in the prison. And Rick also stated that he don't want the bodies to be in the grass while they trying to grow vegetables and stuff. He said he don't want no walker blood and stuff in the you know growing their vegetables and stuff. So he's trying to get them out the prison, trying to burn them. Now, this is what really got me. We see Oscar and Axel basically come from their block, and we see Rick them talking to him. We see Rick tells them we made a promise, and now we see we see Axel trying to compromise with Rick, trying to find a good agreement where they'll be able to stay with Rick them with Rick them group. But we see Rick don't really want to compromise. He don't really want to do nothing like that. He say a deal is a deal. And we see how Axel states that he basically how it's dead souls in there and stuff. He say those men and that was our friends. Them was good people that got killed. And now we see Axel, not Axel, but Oscar. He jumps in and then Oscar states he says that he also said too, say those men in there was good men. And he said, you're no better than them. Nobody tells Rick because, of course, I mean, it makes sense. Because basically, those guys that's in that cell block got executed. You can tell the execution style they got killed in. They're like they got shot in the head because I'm assuming that they could probably been they was already walkers and the people, well, I guess the security guards and stuff and the people that the enforcers that was in there had killed them and stuff. Or it's possible that they was humans and they killed them. I don't know what happened, but they did say that. And that when Oscar tell him you're no better than them. And this was something that caught my eye. Oscar had said. Oscar said that those men that was dead in that cell block helped them fight against Thomas and Andrew. Now remember my earlier statements I said in my reviews, and I mentioned this before, that Thomas and Andrew was like real close. Now, this happened before the zombie apocalypse, so they had conflict before the zombie apocalypse occurred. So if they had conflict then, imagine what Thomas and Andrew did to those guys in that prison for 10 months, well, in the cafeteria. Imagine what they did to those two guys in there. They was in there for 10 months. Even Big Tiny was scared of them. So imagine what they did to them guys. They already had conflict before the zombie apocalypse came. The only reason they really didn't do nothing to Axel and Oscar Axel and Oscar is because of those guys that we seen dead in a cell blocks. And now we see how Rick decides to basically, let them stay in I guess in a security house because Oscar stated that he would leave. He said he don't want if he have to go back in there, he would take his chances on the road. And you see Rick wanting to lie, so they locked him up in the security house. And I think he gave them a week's supply of food to live off of. Now we see them debating about letting them two join the group. Now listen to what I'm about to say, because this right here, a lot of people didn't notice this. But T-Dog was the voice of reason at that moment. Now he wasn't always the voice of reason, but he was at that moment. Just like Dale was. Dale was always the voice of reason, no matter what it was. Through the whole series, he was the voice of reason. Now listen closely, because some of you gonna be like, you know what? He got a point. I felt like they built up T-Dog character to kill him. That's the reason. That's the reason why they built up his character so much. Cause he did state in the season he was going to get more lines. What an actor did, and once he said that, I said it to myself: they're going to kill T-Dog. They're going to build up his character, let him say a couple of words, let him get a couple of kills, and let him get a little screen time to kill off his character. I seen it coming, and it killed them off sooner than I expected. Now, this is what I really caught on to about the T-Dog and Dale situation. Their situations are kind of similar to each other. Now listen, I'm about to go in. I'm about to go deep on this. Now remember when Rick was about to kill Randall. Rick and the group was about to kill Randall. And remember they was talking and everybody was debating about should they do it or not. And Dale was the only person saying they shouldn't kill Randall. He was the only person. Now, him being the voice of reason at that moment, he ended up dying that night in the same episode. He was, like I said, he was always the voice of reason, but him, like he especially started being it once they was talking about killing Randall. Now, look at T-Dog's situation. T-Dog was in the same situation that Dale was in. He started being the voice of reason with Rick them. He was stating that let them come. And if I haven't said this already, it's another thing that was said. T-Dog doesn't feel right being in the group, being the only black African American in the group. I already said this. He already told Dale about this before. He don't feel right being the only black male in the group. That's the reason why he tends to stay in the shadows of things. He always felt uncomfortable doing it ever since he lost the I forgot the girl name in season 1. He always felt uncomfortable. That's the reason why he didn't want her to die, because he didn't want to be the only black person in the group. And I think the main reason why T-Dog wanted Oscar to stay around because he would have had another person, another black male in the group with him, instead of him being the only black person in there. Now, and we also see a cameo between Michonne and the governor. Now, we see, and let me say this too. Michonne, before the zombie apocalypse, Michonne was an attorney. She was an attorney way before the zombie apocalypse occurred. And she was very rich. I think she stayed in the suburbs. She was very rich. And she had 2 kids. But I think they died during the zombie apocalypse. Now, we see Michonne looking at the governor's, the trucks they had took from the soldiers. And we see her looking at the bullet holes that's in the truck, and they have blood in the back of the truck. Now, we see the governor like confronts her. He starts talking. First, he's trying to recruit her, but she's not going for that at all. And then, so they start talking. We see the governor, and she asks him about the bullet holes in the truck. Okay, he say that it's possible that somebody could have it's possible that somebody could have got to him before we did. That's how he put it. And then if somebody got to him before you did, why he didn't take nothing? It doesn't make no sense. They ain't take no weapons. They ain't take nothing from these men. If that was the case, we all knew that was a lie. And she also hints that too, that I ain't no zombies can shoot guns. And so she started kind of getting under his skin. And she also tell him this. She said, you mean to tell me out of that whole group of soldiers, the walkers got every single one of them? Not like every single person Didn't nobody get to escape? Now listen to what I'm about to say. You got a group of people right here. You got a group right here. You got zombies right here. For example. Okay. If you got a group of zombies and you got a group of humans, I guarantee you, if those zombies attack those humans, somebody gonna escape. If not the whole group, somebody gonna escape. At least one person gonna escape. His story didn't make no sense at all. It was all bullshit. Bullshit. Now back to Rick's storyline. We see, of course, as I just mentioned about them letting them join the group, and it was a no. They all said no about it because Rick basically states that he don't want he don't want to sleep with one eye open, and he tells T Dog, "Who blood you want in your hand, Maggie's or theirs?" And T Dog says, "Either." So T Dog becomes the voice of reason at this moment. And Rick tried to use an example, and I found this very interesting. He said when he was a rookie police officer or sheriff or either one, he said when he was a rookie, he arrested a 19-year-old kid, and he said this kid had stabbed the girl. Now he didn't say the girl. He didn't mention was the girl dead or not. He didn't say nothing like that. And then he said the guy went to jail. He started crying and stuff. And basically he beat the case because they didn't have they ain't really have no evidence on him. And he said as soon as the guy gets out, he shoots a girl. Now he didn't say what's this girl. He didn't say that she was dead or nothing like that. But he said he shoots her, and he was trying to use that as an example about just trusting them and stuff. They could say one thing and do something next. And that story right there kind of caught my attention. Next, we see the Walker just bust in because we see Herschel get up out the bed. Herschel's feeling better now. Herschel say he's tired of looking at the bottom bunk. And I will say this, Herschel is a burden. I said this, I don't see Herschel living past season 3. He's a burden to the group. Point blank period. He's a burden. Now, we see Herschel going outside, he's feeling good about himself. And we see Walker's just coming everywhere. And we see Rick them trying to stop it and stuff. Rick them trying to get into the main fence to help out the group. And we see how everybody's getting a headshot. We see how everybody got a decent headshot. We even see Herschel defend himself with his crutches. And that was just funny, but yeah, he actually defended himself with his crutches, and he was able to get into the building on time so they couldn't get him. Everybody got in the building, Carl, Laurie, everybody. Now here's the thing. Now listen to me, guys. Listen to me. T-Dog got bitten because the gate was open. He tried to close the gate. And God, man, let me say, that zombie took a huge chunk of skin out of his shoulder. Jesus. Now, when T-Dog get bitten, we see Carol start crying. She start panicking. And we see that then we see her and T-Dog like running in, I think in the hallway or something. Now, I did not know T-Dog was religious. I did not know that at all. Because, the writers kind of wrote him kind of bad, so we didn't really know what T-Dog was. We didn't really know T-Dog. He was in the show, but we didn't really know T-Dog. We never knew anything about his backstory to his life or, what he did before the zombie apocalypse. But T-Dog was religious, and I didn't know this. He said that him getting bitten by this walker was God's plan. And I was like, wow, I didn't know he was religious. And I think he said that God is going to help me guide you through these hallways so you can get out of here. And we see him and Carol running, and we see how the zombie how he like fights off the two walkers, and then one bites his arm, one bites off into his neck and rip a chunk of flesh out his neck, and he dies from there. He just dies because he can't breathe. The zombie and better check out his neck. And next we see somebody, we already know who did it. Andrew turns on the backup generators. He turns on the backup generators, and this causes a noise to come out. Now this noise is for it's basically alarm. It's an alarm. Now everybody know what this alarm is used for. This alarm is used for prison riots. Anytime a prison riot break out, the alarm goes off to inform people, the prison, not the prisons, but the guards and stuff on the tower and stuff about what's going on. But Andrew turns on this alarm and he knows walkers are attracted to this alarm. And he turns it on to get more walkers to come into the prison. And basically you see Rick talking to Oscar, and Oscar tells him that I've been in there and I worked on a couple of things, but I don't know much about it. And we see and then we see them finally meet Mr. Andrew. They go to the backup generators to turn it off. But Andrew tries to stop it, and we see that Rick and Andrew start fighting, and we see Rick drops his gun, of course, and Oscar picks it up. And we also see before that, Daryl was fighting off the walkers, trying to stop them from getting into the door. We see them shoot one in the head with a bow and arrow, and also stab one. Now we see when Oscar picks up the gun, you see Daryl right next to him with the knife in his hand, ready to stab him if he tries to on Rick. And you see Andrew tells Oscar, "Kill him, man." I think he said, "Kill him. We can take back this prison." Now here's the thing. The main two reasons why Oscar did what he did, and I'm gonna tell you why. The first reason is, he wanted to prove his loyalty to Rick. He wanted Rick to like trust him. He wanted to gain Rick trust and stuff, and show Rick respect, and show Rick that he is capable of being with this group. You can trust me, man. Like, that was the first reason. The second reason was that I said this already earlier before. Andrew and Thomas was bullying Oscar and Axel Big Tiny. So why would he side with him? Why? It wouldn't make no sense. So he ends up killing Andrew, of course, and saving Rick. And that right there shows you that Oscar is really loyal. He's a loyal member now. It's like he's showing it. He like you can trust me now. You can trust me. And that right there, I'm sorry, Rick had no choice but to let him in the group, him and Axel. Sorry. Next scene, we see Lori going labor, just terrible. And it's revealed that she will have to get a C-section. And I find that because although I didn't like Lori and she was annoying at times, I feel like she didn't have to go through that. Because I mean, man, getting a C-section with no medicine to go to, she ain't have nothing to put her to sleep, so she wouldn't feel the pain. And basically, she tells Carl that he's strong and he can beat this world. That's what she and that right there made me feel more bad. When she tells Carl, "You can beat this world. You strong. You're not the same as you was before." And I start feeling for Laurie. I start feeling for Laura, and I think that's how the writers intended to put it for that death, to make us feel bad for Laura. That's what I think the writers did, and they did a great job on it. I applaud them for they did a very great job on that, killing Howell the way they did. And we see Maggie cuts her open and takes the baby out. Now this baby is a female girl. She's a girl, and her name is Julia. Yeah, Julia. Yes, that's her name. Well, if they keep it from the comic book, that's going to be her name. Next, we see Carl have a flashback of Rick telling him about. Remember in season 2, because we don't ever see too many flashbacks in The Walking Dead, especially scenes of previous old seasons. And we seen Rick basically talking to Carl, telling him, well, in the flashback, we seen Rick telling him basically, "I'm tired." I remember what Rick said in that flashback, because I seen season 2. He was basically telling Carl that, "I'm tired. I don't want to fight no more. I'm tired of fighting." And he was like, "Everybody's going to die. Me, your mother. It's basically going to happen unexpectedly. So I want you to basically be ready for it." And we see that flashback, and we see how Carl. We basically see how Rick words stick with Carl. And we see how Carl shoots his mother. Now we don't see it because it's off screen, but he shoots Laurie in the head because he don't want her to turn. Because Laurie, when Laurie got her stomach cut open, she fainted at first from the blood loss, but then she died. in the process of Maggie digging in her stomach to get the baby out. And let me touch on these other cameos. I don't really want to touch on these cameos because there wasn't nothing important like too much, but we see how the governor is basically manipulating Andrea's head, and he even revealed his real name to her, Philip. And we see how he don't want her to go, and we also see that it's like I say, it's easy to manipulate Andrea's head. Shane did it, and once Shane did it, she was going against the whole group of Shane. So I don't really want to go in deep and too much in depth with that. And we see her give Merle a map, basically telling him where they was at the barn and stuff. And you see how Merle was telling her he started flirting with her, and she reminds him of his old ways, and he was like, I got away with words, don't I? And that's funny because Merle's a racist prick, but you still love the guy for some reason. You still love him. And so he decides to go look for Daryl, and he tells the governor that he want to take his two men with him. And governor tells him no, because basically if we take those men, somebody can end up dying and stuff. And let's be real, the governor don't have too many warriors on his team in terms of people that's willing to fight. A lot of people that live in Woodbury is nothing like those men he keeps with him, like his henchmen. Those people are not violent and stuff, and they're not willing to do what it takes, because they feel, you get what I'm saying. And then so Merle tells him, well, that means he say, well, I'll go myself. And then the governor tells him, well, basically now we need you around here. Without you, this place would be gone or could be messed up right now. And then and this refers to me when he said this, I was like, Merle have to be a valuable asset to the governor's group. Maybe Merle's now it's a fact. Merle is the best henchman that the governor has, because think about it. In the previous episode, who was able to find Andrea and Michonne? Merle. Wasn't nobody else able to do that, because Merle is skilled. Merle can hunt. That's what Daryl gets. I said this already. That's what Daryl gets it from. Merle he's a very observant person. He observes people very good, just like Daryl do. Yes, Daryl is not dumb as y'all think he is. And he also can shoot a gun with his left hand. He don't got his right hand, he can shoot a gun with his left hand. So Merle is very skilled, and he didn't want Merle to go. And Merle basically tells him, but that's my brother. Or no, he said, we talking about my brother. And the governor realizes what he's talking about. And the governor gets kind of mad. So I think there will be some conflict between them. But he know that Merle would take his brother's side any day over his side. So I think there will be some conflict between them if the governor tries to hurt Daryl when they meet up. I think Merle gonna get in there, and he's gonna definitely go against the governor for Daryl. Common sense, that's his brother. And also, man, like I say, back to Rick, then we see Laurie die. And it's the sad part, man. We see Rick then running down the hallway. And let me say this. Carol is not dead. Because why would the writers write Carol, like, why would they let T-Dog sacrifice himself for Carol and she not live? It'd be stupid. That means the sacrifice would be in vain. His sacrifice was in vain. And that's stupid. I don't think the writers will make a mistake and mess him up like that. I think Carol's still alive. It wouldn't make no sense. And basically, because he did die a heroic death. So congrats to T-Dog. We gonna miss you, man. R.I.P. T-Dog and Laurie. Even though I didn't like your character, but your final moment stood out. Next, we see Rick watching the zombies eat T-Dog. And the scene was so brutal that Rick couldn't even bear to look at T-Dog body. He just killed the walkers. And it just kept going. Now, this is when it get real. Rick them get outside. And he looks. And basically, he said he's going to go back to save them. Save Lori them, because he didn't see him. He told Derek he's going to go back. And Maggie comes outside with the baby in her hand. She comes outside, and Rick, and like I say, for some of you know, Rick is not dumb. Rick is not, he's far from dumb. He knew what happened from the moment he seen that baby. He didn't see Laurie with her. And he start, he lost it. And he's about to go with Laurie, and Maggie stops him. He knows she's dead. And then we see him look at Carl, man. He breaks down. And he know Carl had to kill her because he remember what he told Carl in season 2 in that flashback we seen. And you see blood on Carl's hand. He know what he did, and he breaks down crying. I told myself I could never get emotionally attached to these characters, but that man, Andrew Lincoln, deserve a fucking award for what he did. Andrew Lincoln is, man, that was so intense, man. That was so intense. Andrew Lincoln better get an award for that scene. Jesus, man, he's a great actor. For some of you know, Andrew Lincoln is the guy who played Rick Grimes. Man. So here goes the thing, people. Will Rick resent this baby because it caused the death of Lori? That's the question. Will Rick resent this baby? I want to know this. I want you guys' thoughts. Also, we have two birds in the group now. We have the baby and we have Herschel. Two burdens. Yeah. That's kind of bad. And this could be a good thing for the baby and a bad thing. You could have this baby's gonna constantly cry, so it may cause walkers to come. So that's a bad thing to me, but hopefully, I don't know what the writer's gonna do with this newborn child. But yeah, like I say, Herschel's a burden to the group. So yeah, so this was my review for The Walking Dead, season 3, episode 4. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, subscribe, rate, comment, leave your thoughts down below. I know this video is kind of long. Hope you guys stick with the whole video. And thanks for your guys' support. And peace.